Hi, I'm Cliff, and this is my garage. And today, I'm finally getting around to tinting the taillights on my Porsche Cayman. Hey, welcome back to the garage. And if this is your first time joining me, thanks for dropping by. So, when I first got my 2006 Porsche Cayman S a few months ago, I advertised it as the world's ugliest sports car because there have been a lot of modifications done to it that I simply didn't like. I thought they were flat out ugly. Several months later, I've taken care of most of those problems. I still got to get rid of this stupid looking wing, but it's coming along. One of the very few things I actually liked that the previous owner had done to this car was these taillights. The stock Cayman taillights are very, very red, just bright blood red. They're not bad, but these certainly do look better. They're more of a gray tone. They blend in with the color of the car better. I just wished that they were a hair darker. So what I've done is I've bought some of my favorite taillight and headlight tinting film from VViViD, and we're going to give it a try on these taillights and see if it has the effect that I'm hoping for. Now, one thing I'm curious about is what's the actual VLT or visible light transmission of this film, because it's not specified anywhere on the product that I could find. So I set up my lux meter here with a really bright LED light above it, and right now it's bouncing a little bit, but I'm reading right at 100 lux, which is just a measurement of how much light is hitting the sensor right here. So at 100 lux at the moment, then I'm going to take and lay the film over the sensor, and it drops down to 40. Like I said, it's bouncing a little bit, but it's right at 40. So 100 lux down to 40, we're looking at a 60% light loss, or in terms of visible light transmission, VLT, we're looking at 40% VLT. So this is 40% film. Now, just to make sure there's no kind of reflectivity or anything, let's turn this over the other way, and it's still reading 40. Okay, so this is not in any way a mirrored or one-way kind of film. Now, there's a couple reasons why I'm interested in the VLT of this film. One, I don't want it so dark that I become illegal or dangerous. Okay, so that's a major consideration. The other thing is that the VLT affects the appearance of headlights and taillights differently than it does window glass. And the reason is, with windows, you're looking at the window, the light is hitting, let's say the sunlight is hitting the object out there, it's bouncing off, and it's coming towards you. And so the film will cut, in this case, 60% of the light, leaving only 40% to come through. So you see 40% of the light that's going to be reflected off that object. With a tail light, you are now on the same side of the film as the light source. So what happens is the light is coming as sunshine, reflected light, whatever. It's coming in here, and it goes through the film, and it cuts 60% of the light. So only 40% makes it past the film inside the taillight. Now, it reflects off what's in here. Of course, isn't 100% efficient in the reflection, but whatever efficiency it is, it now bounces off. It comes back through the light, or back through the film a second time, where it again cuts the light by 60%. So if we have 40% making it through into the taillight, it bounces, and then 40% comes back out, you're looking at 0.4 times 0.4, or about 16% or less of the normal reflection, or the normal light, is going to be bouncing out of this tail light than it would be without the film. So I'm a little worried that this film is just a bit too dark. We're only going to be getting 15% of the light we would normally see bouncing out, which on the surface would seem like that's really, really dark. But let's give it a try and see how it looks. The bigger issue is, well, will the tail light and the stop light, will all that be bright enough? And I think since we're only losing 60% of that light, we still got 40% of it coming through, and these I think are pretty bright being LEDs. I think we're going to be okay in terms of a safety and legal issue. My main concern right now is that I don't want these things to turn totally black, and I'm worried that they will, although I stuck that small patch of film on here, and I think it really looks okay. So let's proceed with putting it on. We're going to start off by cleaning the entire lens with 70% isopropyl alcohol, or IPA. Now you can get IPA in higher strengths, like 90 to 99%. You don't want to use those. High strength IPA can actually damage the lens and cause it to crack. So you want to stick to 70%, no more than that. Just going to take a microfiber towel, just soak it a little bit, and then just go over the entire lens with the IPA. And what this does is it removes any oils and gunk and wax, anything like that, and gives you a nice clean surface to bond to. Okay. And using a microfiber towel so that we don't get any fuzzies or lint underneath the film. Okay. Next, we want to take some painter's tape and just mask off the area around the lens. This isn't to protect the paint. This is to keep the film from sticking to the paint as we maneuver it around. It'll just, instead of sticking to the paint and causing problems, it'll just kind of slide over painter's tape. I'm going to try and tint this lens without removing it. You certainly could remove it. I think I can do it without that, and doing it this way means that the car is holding the lens, or holding the taillight, rather than me having to hold it while simultaneously trying to place and stretch film. All right, I think we're good to go. I added a little more tape onto it to make sure I got all these edges covered where I think it might catch, or all these surfaces, these flat areas. Then I cut a piece of film plenty big enough, way more than I need, just to be absolutely sure, and just kind of test fitting it here. This should be fairly simple because this is not a complex headlight. There is a bit of a compound curve here, but it's not bad. It's very close to being a simple curve, so I don't think we're going to have any real problems here. Get this approximately in place. Just going to take a piece of tape, if I can ever get it started. Just looking under here, get it roughly in position. I could use a magnet there, but I can't find my magnets at the moment. And starting the film here. Just peel this off. Okay. This definitely has a tack to it. Now, one thing you really want to avoid is don't get your fingers under the film where it's going to be on there and stay, because that will show up as massive fingerprints. So I think I just want to get it kind of tapped and started. We don't need this tape anymore. Tapped and started right here in the center. Grab my squeegee and just get an initial point started up. And then we'll work out from there. Into a bit of compound curvature there. It's actually a defect in the light. I'm going to use my heat gun here to try and soften this up a bit, make it a little easier to work with. I've got my VViViD heat gun set to 200 degrees. What have I done with my squeegee? Just cutting it into place. So using this slicing motion. We're going to back up and reheat it. It kind of got wrinkled. Heat it up, it should heal back. Yes, it did. What is so nice about these films is if you get a bad wrinkle in it, you just pull it back a bit, apply some heat, and it has memory. It remembers the shape it had. Fighting that compound curve just a bit here. I'm going to heat this up and pull it down into here. Stretching the film just a bit. And I've got a spot here that got damaged. I'm going to heal that out with some heat. Again, I kind of scraped up the surface a bit. You apply some gentle heat, it will actually heal itself. This film is also very nice because it has built-in air channels. Stretching that out, and then working it in. Part is looking pretty good. Got a little bit of wrinkling here. I just get up, heat, and just keep working it. Okay, there it is. And so I'm getting some wrinkles this way, so I'm gonna heat and try and stretch it in the opposite direction. Just tacking it down here, bridging a little bit. And heat, and using my hand, just kind of working this in here. Once I got it going in the right direction, pull it off of here so that I'm not stretching so strenuously as I get further down into this gap. Okay, now I'm getting some stretch marks going in this direction, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to heat this area and stretch back in the opposite way, bridging and tacking it onto the bumper. And just carefully working it in here. Releasing that tension now to get it down into this corner well. Try to make sure I got a good seal on this corner edge here, well, all the edges. All right, stepping back, that is looking good. I like the color of this. Well, got it flipped over here. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. Oh no, it's turning loose pretty easy. All right. Same thing, getting into the other part of this compound curve. I'm going to heat this whole area, soften it up. Just try as well as I can to get this kind of glassed out. Come on. Okay, I think I'm going to need to purchase some 2 stages. Yeah, okay. Done. And try to pull this where it's glassed out. All right, that's better. Got some bubbles here. That's what's really nice about this vinyl is this is an air release vinyl, so it's got built-in channels. A little bit of damage, heat it up, and it heals itself just beautifully. It's just so easy to work with. Heat in here again. You can see it kind of recovering. I mean, not only self-healing, it has a memory, so that it will go back to its original shape when it's heated. So now that we've got the film locked down all around the edges, next we take and we ever so carefully trim this. We're going to just come through the film and then let it slide along the edge of the tail light. Just be careful of your body position. You don't need to wrap this film around the back side. coming around this curve is going to be challenging. It's actually kind of hard to see the edge of the tail light. Hindsight, I'm thinking it might have been better to pop these tail lights out. I'm just letting my blade ride along the outside edge of the light. Being very careful not to reach in too far and cut the paint. Didn't quite get a clean cut here. Yeah, this corner I actually missed riding along it. Okay, the last step is to go along here, make sure these edges are well seated. Then the final thing we do is we hit all the edges with heat because like I said, this film has a memory to it, but if you heat it to 200 degrees, it loses that memory. Now here, carefully heat this up. Okay, so a bit of a quick look here. The left side is untinted, the right side has been tinted, and quite honestly, I am not sure that I like it. It is very, very dark. I'll wait and take a look and see what it looks like in the daylight. But right now, I'm not too overly keen on it, to be honest. Let's see what it looks like lit up. Okay, so fully lit. It looks okay. There is the left and right sides are not that different. Let's turn on the emergency blinker, see how the flashers look. Okay, so the tinted side does look substantially, or not substantially, it looks noticeably darker, but not bad. And I think that is plenty bright enough, legally speaking. So I'm going to go in and step on the brakes and see how that, well, I can't see how that looks. I have to look at this video later, but I'm going to go try that out. Hopefully that looks awesome. Okay guys, well, that's it. It was pretty simple. There's a couple spots on there that I'm not super happy with, mainly because I couldn't see well enough when I was trimming it because I was trying to video it. Normally I'd had the light in a lot tighter and you know, my head would be in the way of the video. So I kind of messed up a couple spots. I'll probably go back and redo the whole thing. I got plenty of film. I bought enough off of Amazon to do both taillights and both headlights twice over. So no real worry there. I think the film, it's from VViViD. It's an air release film, dry application as you saw, really easy to work with. I think it was maybe 30, maybe 40 bucks for the roll. I'll give you a link down below with the name and everything on it. So as always, guys, please go down there, find that thumbs up button, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We are at like almost 500 subscribers. I'd love to see this video bump it over 500. So go check it out, subscribe to the channel, and if you do, make sure you click on that bell icon. That way YouTube will notify you every time that I post new content from here in Cliff's Garage. I'll see you next time.